Tara Kangarlou is a global affairs journalist and author of The Heartbeat of Iran. She joins me live from London. Tara, good to see you. So what do you think would be the reaction internationally over Iran pulling out of this treaty?
Thank you for having me. I think this is a story that's developing. I'm reading that we are yet to hear from the IAEA their position and their reaction to the president's announcing this as a new law. And also, we've yet to hear from President Donald Trump. But Jafar, yesterday, in fact, late last night, Donald Trump posted on his Truth Social saying, "I'm not offering Iran anything," unlike the Obama administration, who paid them billions under the quote, stupid nuclear weapon JCPOA, which in reality doesn't make sense because that agreement was what allowed inspection, something that we are now presumably no longer going to have. And then he continued by saying, "Nor am I even talking to them since we totally obliterated their nuclear facility." And the reason I'm mentioning this response, which again came yesterday, nothing today so far from the White House, tells us something, that the Trump administration is standing firm on their belief that they won the war against Iran's nuclear program, right? But the Israelis today said this new law that was passed today by the president is the more reason for the snapback, for the reimposing of the sanctions, all the UN sanctions that essentially were to expire, by the way, in October. So we're hearing from the Israelis. The United States White House, Donald Trump, is yet to comment. But one thing I would say is, as your report indicated, does this tell us that Iran is interested in negotiating with the West? Is this nuclear deterrence, or is this, a leverage that they're trying to play? What we do know, though, from the American standpoint, is that right now, President Donald Trump is staying put with a victory. He's not interested in military engagement,
right,
and he seems to not be interested in a talk.
Right. And Tara, I mean, Iran's nuclear weapons program has remained suspended since 2003. But now that Iran is basically suspending its cooperation with the UN nuclear watchdog, is that perhaps an indication that Iran is going to build a nuclear weapon now? They are restarting their suspended program?
We have been hearing from a lot of seasoned nuclear negotiators and experts in the last couple of days, Jafar, and almost all of them categorically believe that the attacks on Iran's nuclear facilities have paved the way for Iran to pretty much do whatever it wants pertaining to its nuclear program further underground, right? Paving the way for Iran to conceal its activities, again, pertaining to the nuclear program, away from the eyes of the IAEA, the nuclear watchdog, and the world, which makes the world an even more dangerous place at a time that they are now threatening to leave the NPT. So again, according to so many nuclear experts, in fact, Enrique Mora, former nuclear negotiator from the European side, he said that Iran's nuclear program started the day the United States attacked Iran.
Now, Tara, I mean, I understand you have been speaking to locals on the ground. So let me ask you this question, because this is something that I was thinking about before coming to the studios today. Would people in Iran rather have nuclear weapons, or a leadership that is not interested in a nuclear weapons program?
Great question, Jafar. And to that, I will say the Iranian people want a government that puts their interest first and foremost. And when you speak with Iranian people, they would say, the trillions of dollars that the Islamic regime spent, starting mainly from the Ahmadinejad period, by the way, on building this nuclear program, this nuclear facility, was blown up, right, in a matter of hours. And those were trillions of dollars that government could have spent on building infrastructures, roads, hospitals, schools, commerce, engagement for the Iranian people, who right now are suffering economically. Coming on the show, I spoke with a young businessman in Iran, and he said, listen, since the ceasefire, it's not that we're back into life as usual, business as usual. Nothing is happening. Everything is locked, and that means businesses and any form of commercial engagement. So to answer your question, the ordinary Iranian person in Iran wants engagement with the world, coming out of a commercial and economic isolation that they've been in for the last nearly 35, 40 years. And they so very much blame that on the Iranian regime's nuclear aspirations, because quite frankly, all the sanctions and the international isolation of Iran has been because of this nuclear program.
Fascinating insights. That's Tara Kangarlou joining us live from London there. Tara, thank you very much indeed.